everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to talk about kettles. I was gifted this beautiful kettle from Cocinare. But here I just wanted to compare different kettles to see which one suits you the best. Ultimately, it is no best kettles. It's really based on preferences, right? So we're going to look at the spouts, the body, how long it takes to heat up, and the flow, of course. Let's dive in with how those coffee look like. So first of all, of course, on the Cocinare, they are pretty popular based on the different design, and here a beautiful blossom design. And I will compare it with my go-to Brewista kettle that I've been using all the time. So first of all, let's look at a spout. And so what we can see here is a slightly different spout. We can see that the Brewista is a little bit narrower versus the Cocinare, which has a slightly wider tip, basically. See those main differences. Another difference is on the shape. We have a S shape for both, but the angle is a little bit different. That will affect, of course, your flow. Let's do a comparative test between those two kettles. It's very important to use the same size kettle. So I will put 300 mils of water in both kettles to make sure that is the same amount that we are going to heat up. As the first kettle is heating up and I started the timer, let's fill the second kettle. All right, the results are really similar. For the Cocinare, it's 1 minute and 42 seconds, and for the Brewista, 1 minute and 47 seconds. So it's not really impactful. All well built, well designed. Also, the only difference is really the aesthetic. So what I've done here, I've ground 15 grams of the same coffee in both the carafe, and we're going to observe the flow of the kettle. First of all, what I like to do is always check the temperature. So we are like dropping the temperature a little bit in the 86, 92, 93. Okay. So when we take it off the base, we have a slightly more temperature drop on the Cocinare than the Brewista, which hold the temperature a little bit better. That may be due to the material. It feels a little bit heavier, a little sturdier, and this one feels a little lighter. Let's observe with one single pour the flow of the kettle. Starting with the Cocinare, you can tilt it. You can see the flow here start getting disturbed. 45, and we'll let it steep for about 4 minutes each, like a cupping, and then I will filter it out. Let's observe with our Brewista. We can go a little higher, and nice range of motion here. And it's done so a little faster flow on the Brewista versus the Cocinare, but we have a slightly more control here as well. You have a nice little pad here for your finger. And so all in all, on the flow, it's a little bit more linear on the Brewista with more kind of speed control, but you can go quite fast versus the Cocinare, which can really have a very nice, sturdy and steady pour. All right, we're approaching the 4 minutes mark. So what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm just going to filter out all this brew at 4 minutes. And then we will do a little brew test to see if there's actually a difference in the taste or not. I don't suspect to have a huge difference in the taste, really. So we'll do a little triangulation testing. As you know, I love it. But ultimately, it's really based on preference, design, and flow, really. The Brewista hold the kettle temperature a little bit more, but the Cocinare and similar design, the fellow helps having a steady pour, right? So if you are beginning your pour over journey, it can be a very good option. Really hard. Yes! That was my first intuition. And yes. So, I can taste the difference. There is a little difference, I would say, probably based on the brightness. That was the cue that helped me guess the difference between the two kettles. One was slightly brighter and one a little bit more mellow, and that's why I had to focus a lot fast between two to make sure that the brightness is not lost as it cools down. So one has slightly more expression, slightly more intensity than the other one, and that's how it helped me to pick up the difference between those two kettles. Brewista has slightly more intensity because the flow was a little bit faster, and remember the thermal inertia, it was a little bit hotter here compared to the Cocinare. That's an idea. I'm not sure if it's the case, but that's probably why they. Mhm. So here I have more brightness. This is this one. This is that one. And I guess here. Mhm. So interestingly, we can taste the difference between two kettles, mostly between different flows. One flows a little bit faster, we are allowed to extract a little bit more and have slightly more intensity. Also, the thermal inertia affects as well the extraction, right? So that's why that helped me pick up a little bit the difference between those two. However, those are very tiny little difference, and it's extremely hard to pick out the difference. But we still have a slight difference, mostly based on the shape of the spout and how fast the pour is. So mostly it depends on what you like, right? If you prefer a nice design at home, if you're a nice beginner, it will help you a lot to have a very good flow with the Cocinare, whereas you can have a lot of play but also mess up a lot with the Brewista. So it's up to you. Thank you very much. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And see you next time for more videos.